set for only $7.99. That's a K&H Auto Supply, your Parts City Auto Parts store right here in Salem.
Parts City.
Yeah, Parts City.
Parts City.
All right, here KSMO Radio 1340. It's time for our spotlight on the Salem Memorial District Hospital, and we have our compadre for the health fair with us, Kathy Weldon.
Hi, how are you, Stan?
Doing good, Kathy. How are you?
I'm great.
Fantastic.
Here we are coming up on our third health fair of the year.
The last one.
The last one for this year. Haven't got our dates set for next year yet, but we'll get that probably right after this one is over.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, looking forward to it, and I know everybody else is too.
Next Wednesday and Thursday.
Yes, the 19th and the 20th.
Okay.
Up at the Armory at the Salem Community Center.
6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
That's right.
To get those numbers in there. Not 5:38 and not 9:22. Because they're not set up before 6. Maybe a minute or two. You might, maybe if you're set up. But not after 9. They have to break down
Yeah, we
everything
have to
back
break
to the
everything
hospital.
down. Yep.
And you got to get the people back to their positions. If they're coming in just to help with the health fair, then they go home. But if they're going back to work, then they got to get there, got to go to work. And all the equipment and all the samples and everything else that goes with it has to go back to the hospital. That's a big move.
And we have a lot of samples. We have a lot of people come out for the health fair. It's a great event for the community. You can get a lot of screening, routine type lab work done for really super discounted price. This is yard sale prices for this health
Flea
fair.
market prices, actually.
Well,
Even
yeah.
better, you know. So, but it's amazing, and these tests are not a substandard test. And say,
no,
it's a blood test, but they only check 2 or 3 things instead of the whole thing. No. You
No,
get the
this is a
whole
huge panel. Our health fair profile includes a full CBC,
Okay.
which is a blood count panel. It includes the fasting lipid profile. It includes a comprehensive metabolic panel, which checks your sugar and some of your minerals, your electrolytes, some of your liver enzymes. I mean, it's a full panel. It also includes an iron level and a
Right.
uric acid.
Yep.
So that is a great panel, and it's only $35.
Yeah, get that price again.
$35. And if you came in to have it done at the hospital with a doctor's order, it would be over $350.
Yeah. So very, very inexpensive. Again, these are provided to you by the hospital as a courtesy to our community. They can't give it to you free.
No, but it's
$35 is about the next best thing for that full lipid profile. I mean, when you start talking about fasting, and that's a big key here, because you could take this test, but if you don't fast,
then some of your
yeah.
numbers aren't going to be real good.
yeah,
probably.
so you're looking at only about getting about half of what you really need. But if you fast and do it properly, at least, you always like 12 hours. I think they say at least 10. But
Yeah, 10 to 12 hours. Drink water. We
Right.
don't want you to
Medications
get
you might
dehydrated. Take your medications if you need to. If you're diabetic, you might have to hold your medication until you eat something. But yeah, otherwise, just, after you have dinner the night before, just don't eat anything else.
Yeah. And don't drink anything else like juices or things of that
Oh,
nature,
no.
because they all have sugars and things, and they all mess everything up.
Right, they will.
Yeah,
Just water.
Because I heard people say, "Well, I had a little glass of apple juice." That's like
That
eating.
counts.
It's kind of like food, and it comes from apples, and it does
Has
work.
a lot of sugar in
It
it.
has a lot of sugar in it. Okay, so anyway, but that panel itself just $35, and you can get a bevy of information out of that one test.
Yes.
For your current health situation.
If you only have one thing done at the health fair, have that done.
Okay,
It's a great bargain.
Super bargain.
And it tells you a lot.
And if you would take that test outside Salem, it's a lot more than $350.
Oh, yes.
And I'm going to
Yes.
tell you that right now. I had one of those taken somewhere with over $400, and that was almost 20 years ago.
Yes.
I can't imagine what it would be now.
Yeah.
Don't want
well,
to.
ours is more than that too, but
Well, I know, but I'm saying right now, why would I not do this at $35?
right. I mean, even if you have insurance, if you have a really high deductible, that you're going to be paying that much out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an awesome opportunity.
Right.
Now, and this is a good place to make sure that people understand that we do not take insurance.
That's right.
For these tests, and that's one way we help cut down our cost, since we won't have to bill insurance. This is cash, and you can use a credit card, check, cash. If you have one of those healthcare spending accounts,
HSAs.
you can bring that card, and we can use that
Right. I was
to
just
pay
going to
for
mention
this.
that your HSAs do work here.
Yes.
Because that money is set aside for health-related issues. This is obviously a health-related issue, and you can use that. And you can count that toward your deductible when you do your HSA because they actually have a record of it.
Yeah.
So anyway, good stuff there. But there's more than just one test at our health fair.
Yes, much more.
Well, don't keep me
Let
hanging,
me tell
girl.
you all about it.
Okay, get to our next item.
We're also doing a thyroid hormone. It's the TSH test. Anybody that's on thyroid medication, their doctor usually order these tests periodically.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the test that's used to screen for thyroid problems, and that's $15.
Okay, $15 for the thyroid, the
Yes.
TSH?
TSH.
Okay, so the TSH test, $15. That's $50 for the two tests.
So, we like initials.
Mm-hmm.
In the lab, a lot of little shortcut initials. So the next one, PSA.
Okay, public service announcement.
Public
I'm very
service
good at-
announcement.
yeah.
Yes, this is the prostate cancer screening test,
Different kind of PSA.
and this is just for men.
It is just
So
for
ladies, don't mark this on your form, and it also is $15.
Okay, so then now you're talking $65 if you get all three tests. Now again, just for guys. And of course, let's go back. Even though you may not have a doctor's order for your thyroid, if you want to get your thyroid checked, this is still very inexpensive to do.
Oh yes.
And I highly recommend if you haven't had it checked in a while, get it checked. I mean, this test will give you a number, and then you guys send out a nice little pamphlet along with the results that explains what those numbers mean.
Right. And, when you come to the health fair, we have you fill out a form, and you can put your doctor's name on there, and we'll send your doctor a copy of the results. But we always send the individual participant a copy of the results in the mail.
But you don't have to send it to the doctor. If you don't want that, you
no.
just leave that blank.
Just leave it blank.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it would be sent to you. So you'll get your results back, whether it's the thyroid or the PSA and the lipid. Now we've got 3 tests in. We've got more tests that are available.
We have more. The A1C, or sometimes referred to as a glycohemoglobin. This is the test that gives you the average glucose value that your body has had over about the last 2 to 3 months.
It's still an amazing test to me how that happens.
It is.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're diabetic, you usually get this test several times a year. If you just worried that your sugar might be too high, this might be a test you'd want to do.
Okay, and the A1C, again,
$15.
it's a good way of seeing where you stand.
Absolutely.
And that's why I always get this test, because diabetes has run in my family. And I get a chance to see where I stand. Is it going up? Is it staying level? Is it staying approximately the same place? Just a way of keeping an eye on your own health. And that's what the beauty of this health fair is. You can actually just take a snapshot from February, on in May, and on in September, and see if anything's changing.
Right. And if you don't come 3 times a year, at least try to come 1 time a year. And,
Compare it to last year.
And then, if you keep your results in a file or a
Big
little
folder at
notebook
home.
or something.
All the
yes.
way back to 2008.
Oh my goodness, Dan.
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
But I go back and look at 2008.
And you look at your results from 2008 and compare them to
I actually do.
2018.
Yeah, I do. And you can see there's some subtle changes, not too many. For a while, my cholesterol and triglycerides were too high. Now they're closer to normal.
Yeah, you made some lifestyle changes.
Made some changes. Ate a better diet. There's a few different things. But you see when things start going haywire, I got to do something
Yes.
before it affects you in the long
Before
run.
it gets out of control.
Exactly. Okay. So the A1C is very, very critical. If you have anybody in your family that's had diabetes, it's good for you to get this test just so you can see where you stand.
Especially as you get older, because type 2 diabetes is on the rise. And they're even finding type 2 diabetes in children now. Yes, it's, because of our diets and our lifestyles have become more sedentary.
Sedentary and a lot of fatty foods,
Yes.
a lot of starches. So,
Well, we have one more test that we offer,
okay.
and this is the urine microalbumin. This checks for small amounts of protein in the urine. This is a test that diabetics usually have to get one time a year, just to monitor their kidneys, because diabetes can damage your kidneys. And this will let you know if you're having some kidney issues.
Okay. That's a very important test. But also, people need to understand your kidneys can be damaged by amount of too much Tylenol, too much sinus medications. All these can affect the kidneys as well. So even if you don't have diabetes, you may want to get this test if you have. And there's a lot of people, a lot of allergies out there to get sinus headaches, and they take the Tylenol sinus or the derivatives off there from Walgreens or whatever the generic brands are. All right, if you read those packages, it says do not take more than this, can affect your kidneys. And I remember reading this story about a girl who was an athlete. She was 17 years old, and she doubled up on her sinus headache medication, and it shut her kidneys down.
Wow.
Now, that's an extreme, but it shows that damage can be done. Not everybody's body reacts to those chemicals the same way. And you know that,
Right.
Kathy, more than anybody else, that these things sometimes they don't flush out as well. Sometimes they can create another problem with your kidneys called kidney stones. And
Oh.
that can happen too. And I've had a couple of instances of those. And I try not to ever wanna get
have that again.
So you drink more water, you try and drink more cranberry juice. That's always been the old way. I have cranberry pills to take just in case I'm not drinking enough. So you want to make sure you try and keep the cleansing. But I look at that test to see, okay, is it on the rise? Is it staying where it's supposed to be? Kidneys are very important for you. So make sure that you don't just brush this off. And how much is that test?
$15.
$15.
$15.
So you have, $15 for the TSH, $15 for the PSA for a
Yes.
guy. Now that's
For
$30.
only guys.
Now you also have the A1C, so that's 15 more.
Yes.
That's 45, and then this would be 15 more for
So that would be
the urine
60.
test. That'd be 60, and 35 is 95
Yes.
for all the tests.
Good math skills. Stan, good math skills.
$95.
Yeah. That's cheap, though, isn't it?
That
For
Okay.
all of those tests.
So if we don't have this health fair, and some doctor said, I need you to take all 5 of these tests, how much?
Over $800.
Over $800. $95. $800, $95. Which would I choose? $95. That's what I'm going to choose. And there's some free tests.
Well,
and I say free tests.
Yes, we have several free tests, but we
Yes.
also have one more test
We have
that we
more?
do charge an amount for, and that's the bone density.
Oh, yeah, but that's not held there at the
Well, but you
location.
come and you
But can get
register
it.
at the health fair
Right.
and pay for it. Then you go out to the hospital.
Well, you're right. And but I was talking about right there.
Right
Just
there.
a blood test. Just a blood test.
Yeah, blood
Okay.
tests were done. You can
Okay,
get
so
all
no
of
more.
those tests.
$95 for all those blood tests.
Yes.
Now, let's move on to the bone density test because this is very important. A lot of times they talk about women, 60, 65, or, make sure you go get these tests because your bones get brittle, etc. Hey, it happens to guys too.
Yes, it does.
Don't
It
think,
certainly does.
well, I'm a man and I don't need that test and I don't have to do it. And I've never had one, but I don't need one. You know what? You might just be surprised how brittle your bones are getting. You don't want to find out the hard way by slipping, falling, and finding out you just broke your hip.
Right. Exactly.
So the bone density test, obviously you can't pick up that machine and carry it down to the
No,
community
we
center. in
can't.
Jeremy.
It's a little bit heavy.
It is a little bit heavy, but this is a very affordable test, and it's held at the hospital, and it doesn't take very long.
Nope,
in and
just
out
a
in no
few
time,
minutes.
and it will tell you. And I've had this done before. It tells you just how your bones are doing.
Yes, and it's not a test that you have to have at every health fair or even every year. Talk to your physician. You should get a baseline, and depending on where you're at, maybe follow up in a couple of years with another one.
Yeah, my physician said don't take it for 5.
Yeah,
So this is my 5th year. Time to get it.
time to get it. It's
Yep.
my time too.
Time
so,
to get it. So, and you sign up for that at the health fair.
Yes.
You get a little card or something, so you go to the hospital and get it done, and you have to do it within a certain period of time, don't you?
Yes, you can't come to the health fair and then
2 weeks later.
and then 2 weeks later come in for your bone density. You have to do it the same morning. Yeah.
Okay, very good. So if you're thinking about, well, I don't really have time to run to the hospital, well, okay. If you don't have time to do that, get your blood test. Don't get the bone density test, because if you can't go that day, you're in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah. Now we do have a lot of free screenings,
Oh, yeah,
like
we know
you
we got some
mentioned.
free ones. Yeah, these are good
So-
stuff. Okay, so
Yeah,
tell us a
so
little bit about
so Jason, our dietitian, is going to be there, and he can do your body fat percentage and give you some pointers on your diet. If you want to, if you need to change, your lifestyle a little bit. We'll also have somebody doing blood pressures. We have respiratory therapy will be there, and they'll be doing free lung
Right.
screenings.
These are kind of new. Now this one's kind of new out there. This is
Yeah,
started,
we've
I
just
think
been
it
doing
started
this
it
last year.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's a really great screening test, that pulmonary function. So they'll be doing that.
Okay.
We also have our physical therapy department there, and they can check your balance, and they can also check your hand grip strength.
Okay.
So those are some other really good screening tests.
Very good. Very good. And you may even have a couple other departments out there with information.
Yes.
So even though there's no test to be done, information. And the neat thing is they have coffee
Yes, we'll
afterwards.
have coffee
Afterwards.
and some snack bars, breakfast bars, or something like that.
Very good. So remember, you do need to fast 10 to 12 hours before you come in. I prefer 12. That way I know it's good and clean. Okay? But some people can't do that.
No, some can't.
And then when you get done with your 12, and then I highly recommend when you get to your 12 hours, you eat something light, and eat again in a couple hours. So you can let it get in your system a little bit better. Otherwise, you just sit there and you gorge yourself.
Yeah, if you eat like a fried chicken dinner next Tuesday night and decide to fast that night and come in the next morning, we're going to be able to tell.
Yeah, I noticed that it's wise to eat the salad and stuff the night before. But in all honesty, Kathy, we talk about this, and I've talked to Jason about this too. It's not a problem when you go and have those he kind of calls those glory meals that you really look forward to, the fried chicken,
Oh,
some
yeah.
mashed potatoes, the biscuits. There's nothing wrong with that occasionally. You just don't do it every day.
Right.
And you don't want to do it the days before you're testing, because that does affect your system. Or don't get that big, greasiest pizza you can find and go in there and eat the whole thing and then fast for 12 hours, because it's going to show up, okay? Say you want to eat regular.
Just
want
your regular diet.
Normal meals. I won't say you can't eat real zesty food if you want to. I guess you can, but
Oh, zesty's good.
yeah, but sometimes if you know it affects your body, and you know your body better than anybody
That's
else,
right.
if it affects your body to a point where it gets you hot, it changes different things, you may not want to eat that before you go get tests. I mean, you want to eat a stable meal, going to get you through, keep everything balanced to make sure you get the you want to get good results, and that's what it's all about. Not one right after you eat, you go to that picnic dinner and everybody has, the Kool-Aids and full of sugar and the chicken and the mashed
potato
potatoes
salad
and the potato salad and the buttered rolls and everything else. And that sounds pretty good, all right.
It does sound good, doesn't it? It's getting close to
Yeah,
lunchtime.
it is. But you know what I'm saying is that all that then does show up on those tests, and we want everybody to have a good, clean bill of health when they come out of those tests. So, again, monitor what you eat a good, sensible meal, vegetables, maybe a little meat, maybe a little diet, maybe a little dairy in there as well. But it all depends on how your body reacts to it. If you got allergies to dairy, don't eat dairy.
You might end up being a little dehydrated.
You could be. So anyway, Kathy says you can drink water. You
Yes.
can take your medications,
Drink water, take your medications.
okay, and fast 10 to 12 hours before you come in. Very, very important. Doesn't besides the lipid profile, the fasting doesn't affect any of the other tests. So
No. No, the A1C that checks your glucose over 3
That- yeah,
months.
that's a-
Yeah,
that's a-
fasting
that-
does
yeah.
not affect that.
Okay, very good. Or your urine test, unless you have
Right.
about 15 gallons of beer or something. That might affect it. I don't know. I would doubt it.
Yeah, if you drink overhydrate.
Yeah, it might affect it a little bit. Okay, but there's a lot of good stuff here. Very affordable. We already talked. Now, how much is the bone density test? We didn't talk about
Oh,
that.
yes, the
Yeah.
bone density is 35 also.
All right, so $35, and that's a super big discount off what it would cost you if it was ordered
Yes.
by a doctor. So you definitely want to check that out. So altogether, if you did every single test, it would cost you $130.
Yes. If you're a man and you did every test,
test, that's
$130.
For a lady, take $15 off. It's $115. It's a discount rate for you on the flea market bargains, yard sale bargain health fair.
Yes.
Very good. And then you get a free cup of coffee afterwards. It just doesn't get much better. They will have scales there. You can check out your weight. You can do all kinds of different things there. You talked about blood pressure checks. Talk with Jason. Talk with the physical therapy department. If you're having some knee issues or you're having some elbow issues or something with physical therapy, they can take a look at them. While you're there, they're not going to tell you that they can take care of this, but they may refer you to your physician, say that you may have this, or they may tell you you need to get an MRI or even x-rays.
Right. And something I want to point out is, a lot of people find out about their health fair results from their physician.
Before they get them.
Yeah, sometimes as early as the very next day, because we send those, all these tests that we're offering, we do them all in-house. And most of them are done the same day. And then, of course, we have to, review all the results and get them put in envelopes before we can get them sent out to
Sure.
the participants. But the doctors, they get the results right away.
Yeah, and I've gotten a call from my doctor a long time before I got my results. And I said, as soon as I get my results, that I can see if it's really needed. Because sometimes they'll call to see if you want to come in and talk about your results.
Right. And that's who you actually need to be discussing your results with, is with your physician.
Right. Now, if you do like I do and you don't throw any of them away, you can kind of take a look at it and you can see if it's getting better or worse. If it's getting worse, you probably do want to go talk to your physician. If you may have one that's kind of out of whack.
That doesn't always
Yeah, I mean, if
mean
it's only
anything.
one and it's and if you're just barely over and it has a little high mark on there, or maybe it's a little bit too low and has a low mark on there, and it's only one, you're probably okay. I probably shouldn't need to worry about that. But it's still, if you don't feel comfortable with it, talk to your physician.
Absolutely. The reference values on tests are if you took 100 normal people and you ran that test on them, 95 out of 100 people's results would fall within that range.
And that's the range you show on
And that's
on
the range
form.
we show. 5 out of 100 people are going to either be a little above or a little below that. It doesn't mean you're abnormal. It just means that your results don't fall within that 95%.
Now, if your triglycerides come in at 550,
Yeah, you have a problem.
you got a problem. And your cholesterol is 396 or something of that nature. That's a little too high, okay? If it's 201,
Yeah,
still high, but not horribly high.
yeah, it depends on the test.
But it depends on the test. And again, it depends on your history, too. And that's why I always keep these, because now I'm actually writing down what I ate the night before to see if there is a difference in how it affects the test.
Good idea.
So that way I know if I have something that's generic, a sandwich, salad, vegetable, something that's just out there, nothing super special, nothing super spicy, nothing super greasy, just to see what it does on a test. And I have noticed that that has changed those results. So,
Well, good. You're really on top of things.
well, you know, you only live once.
That's
what
true.
they tell me. And so in the process of getting older, I realized that a lot of things affect me differently now than they did when I was 25.
Yeah,
You know,
I
and
hear
it
you.
will affect a lot of different people. You know, I've become more intolerant to dairy now that I've gotten older. It doesn't hurt me, it bloats me. I
Yes.
get a little bit bloated. That doesn't stop me from eating it. I just know you're going to get bloated. So, and you know you're going to get bloated. If you're willing to accept that fact, you go with it. When I stop eating dairy, that goes away.
Right. And you know, your age does affect your test results because as men get older, their PSA levels can go up. As we get older, our thyroids quit working quite as well as they should. And that's a reason, you know, if you're getting older to get the TSH test done.
Good reasons for a lot of the tests. The best reason is it's your health. Keep an eye on it.
Yes.
And at a very affordable price, as we mentioned. For guys, if you took every test, it's only $130. If you want to, just get the lipid profile, $35. That really is the key test to this whole health
Yeah,
fair.
the
It
health
really
fair
is.
profile, yes.
But if you are diabetic and you want to make sure, or you're pre-diabetic, or you've had diabetes in your family, I highly recommend you get all the tests that could show that you may be on that verge. You know, like give you an idea, heads up. Maybe watch your intake. You know.
Yes, you hear a lot about what they call metabolic syndrome now.
Mm-hmm.
And so you would want to have that health fair profile and that A1C test done for that.
Absolutely. So a lot of good tests to be done. Now here's the neat part, Kathy. You can actually go print this form off from the website,
Yes.
smdh.net.
And I'm going to be sending this out also through the email to some of the participants that have given me their email address.
All right.
And so if you get it in your email, you can print it off and have it filled out before you come in.
It saves you time.
If not, we'll have the forms there.
Just go
You can
right
fill
up
'em out
to the
there.
cashiers. You give them your form. They'll write down the test you're going to take, and then they'll move you to the next one, and you'll pay whatever the fee is that you need to pay. Remember, no insurance here. No insurance, cash, credit card,
Check.
or your HSA. I highly recommend if you don't have an HSA, you might want to get one. It's always good to pay for those deductibles on doctor's visits and anything else. It can be used for that, and it can be used for this. It can be used for anything that's health related, and it is tax deductible.
Yes, because they take that out of your paycheck before they figure your taxes.
Right. And you need to have it in a designated HSA account. You just can't open up a savings account on your own and say, hey, this is my HSA. You can do that. It won't count. You'll have to pay taxes on that. But anyway, the HSA is a great tool. Highly recommend people to get one. If you don't have one, it's a good way to get started. Some of those, and watch the HSA you open, because some of them are only deal annually. So you've got to spend that money annually on your health care.
Yes.
So some of them have that restriction to it. Others do not. So make sure you know which ones you're getting into. But it has nothing to do with our health fair. Our health
No,
fair
it does
is
not.
going to be held next Wednesday, Thursday, Salem Community Center at the Armory, 6 a.m., 9 a.m. sharp.
Yes.
And I was happened to be there one time when a lady came in at 9:15, and after everything had been broken down, thinking she could get the test done. It doesn't work that way, guys.
Set your alarm
It's-
clock if you need to.
Get up early.
Leave for work a little early. Come by and see us.
It doesn't take long. Doesn't
No.
take very long at all. And if you are going to get the bone density test, remember you have to get it done that day.
That morning, yes.
Yeah. So you want to make sure that you get that taken care of. Anything else, Kathy? Have I forgotten anything?
I think we've covered everything.
Okay, very good. Well, we thank Kathy Weldon from the lab department over at the Salem Memorial District Hospital. A lot of information about our health fair. You'll find more information down there when you go because they've actually opened it up to virtually every department at the hospital to have somebody there. They may even have somebody from veterans there this time, I think. They might even be there. So think about that. Go on down there, check it out. Give yourself some time. Don't be in a big hurry to run in, run out. Yeah, I know if you got to go to work, that'll happen. But if you don't have to go to work, check out all the different departments. Talk with Jason Edwards.
Right.
Talk, get the blood pressure checked. Talk with the nurses down there. Check with the rehab people.
Well, there's also an expo coming up this Thursday.
That's like this Thursday. That's
This
like tomorrow.
Thursday, yes. And a lot of our departments are going to be there. I'm going to be there. So if anybody has any questions about the health fair, they're welcome to stop and talk to me at the expo.
The expo is tomorrow night, 5 to 7, Salem Community Center at the Army. Another same place you're going to go get your health.
The health fair,
Fair.
yes.
So just go on by and check it out. You'll have all kinds of different physicians there, eye doctors, dentists, chiropractors. There'll be all kinds of health providers there. Number of booths from the Salem Hospital will be there, so a number of departments will be there represented. You can ask them questions. You can find out more information about what's going on in our hospital, some of the new stuff that's coming in, new mammography machine we've got over
Yes.
there. We've got a lot of different things that are available now at our hospital. That were
Lots
not
of
available.
giveaways, too.
And freebies?
Yeah, win prizes.
Holy cow. I didn't know you could win.
Yes. You can win
Freebies.
prizes.
Yes, you can. You can bring in some items to donate to the Sacred Heart Food Pantry. You can even win bigger prizes. You might even win some, at your drawings, but big prizes.
Yes.
Big.
Big
Yeah,
prizes.
don't know what they are, but they're big prizes. Anyway, that's good stuff. Anyway, that's tomorrow, 5 to 7. And you can go there and then go to your health fair the following week, Wednesday, Thursday, 6A to 9A in the morning only. And that will be at the Salem Community Center at the Armory.
Yes.
You do want to enter by the door on the east side, back by the softball field. That is the main door to get in. So please park either in the back of the building or along that side, and then you can get in. And that's not a very short walk. And you won't be in there very long.
No, not too long at all. And parking usually isn't too much of an issue.
No, not very good. Not very much. Very good.
Okay.
We invite everybody out. You will not
Everybody come.
You'll not find these prices anywhere else.
And you can come and just have the free screenings
We
if you
could.
like. Yes.
We could. Don't forget to fast. That's a biggie. That's a
Okay.
biggie. All right. Kathy, thanks for coming in and spending some
You're
time
welcome,
with us on
Stan.
KSMO Radio on our spotlight on the Salem Memorial District Hospital.